Hi guys, it's Panthers fan back in another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for Week 5 of the NFL 2021 season in this video. Before we get into this video, I just want to say, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe down below, because I'm trying to get to 250 subscribers, currently at 238 at the time of filming. And let's get right into the predictions for Week 5, starting with Thursday Night Football. So on Thursday at 8:20 p.m., we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. So I do want to say that I did not enjoy how the Rams played last week. I thought they would play a lot better against the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are definitely a very good team. And the Seahawks, I think, played a pretty decent game against the 49ers. Not my favorite, but they did good enough, I think, to win that game. And I do think this will be a close game, but I am going to give the win to the Rams because I think they'll be able to rebound after that loss to the Cardinals and be able to get the win here in Seattle. But I would not be surprised if the Seahawks win, but I just don't really have as much confidence right now in the Seahawks as I do the Rams. So I know the Rams are coming off a bad game, but I think they're going to be able to turn that around here on Thursday Night Football. And let's get into the Sunday games. So first on Sunday, we have the first game in England this year with the New York Jets taking on the Atlanta Falcons in England, and it's considered a Falcons home game. And that game will start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So in this game, I do think it'll be pretty close because Jets coming off a win against the Titans in overtime, which I was very surprised about. But Jets played a really good game, and they played good with Jameson Crowder coming back. It made Corey Davis play better because he wasn't the number one receiver or the only focus, because I don't know who you would consider the number one, Crowder or Davis, but whatever, Davis isn't the only option now. Now there's another pretty good receiver next to him, because the Jets did have some decent other receivers, but there was no one that was as good as Crowder as a second option. So now there's more options. So now it's going to make it easier for Davis to be better and also for Crowder to be good, since they got to worry about two guys that are really good now. So I'm going to give the Jets the win here, but I do like how the Falcons played last week. I just don't think they're good enough to get the win here, and I think Zach Wilson is going to get another win on the year with the Jets and go on to get a 2-game winning streak, and I just don't think the Falcons are going to be able to win because they've just not really impressed me this season. And the Jets looked pretty good last week against the Titans, who I think are a really good team. And even though Derrick Henry did really good, they still were able to come out with the win somehow. And the Falcons, I really don't like their defense either. And the Jets' defense has actually been pretty good this year. It's just their offense has been horrible. That's why they've been playing so poorly. So the Falcons' offense has been okay, but nothing special. And then their defense just pretty much is always bad for some reason. I don't know. Do they need to draft all defense or something? I don't know. But their defense has not been good in a long time, the Falcons, in my opinion. So I give the Jets the win here. Let's get into the next game. So on Sunday at 1 p.m., we have the Patriots taking on the Texans in Houston. So in this game, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win because I just don't think the Texans have been playing very good on the season. And also, I did want to say, I'm very impressed with how the Patriots played against the Bucs. I know they did end up losing, but I was very surprised with how they were playing. And in my opinion, if I was Bill Belichick there at the end of that game, I would not go for the field goal to go up by a couple points. Or one, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 points the lead would have been, because it was raining the hardest it was raining the whole game. It was, your kicker was questionable going into the game with an injury. He ended up playing. And it's 56 yards, which your kicker, when he's healthy, Nick Folk, is an average kicker at best. He's not the best, he's not the worst, but he's an average. And even if he makes it, you're still going to give Tom Brady, I think it's about 45 to 50 seconds with the ball, and all he needs is a field goal. He would have easily gotten that, in my opinion. So I really did not like that play call, and they should have went for it on 4th and 2, in my opinion. Let me know down below if you think that was the right decision by the Patriots to attempt that field goal, which they would end up missing and lose the game. So I give the Patriots the win here, and I think Mac Jones will have a pretty decent game. And let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Lions taking on the Vikings in Minnesota at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to give the Vikings the win here because I know both teams have not been playing good so far this season, but I just think the Vikings are playing a little bit better. So I think the Vikings will get the win here at home to improve to 2 wins on the season. And the Lions still go without winning a game. So I give the Vikings the win. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Eagles taking on the Panthers on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern at Bank of America Stadium in North Carolina. So before we get into this game, I did want to say I think the Panthers did a good trade getting Gilmore. It is going to add a lot of salary cap, and also I don't know if they were just releasing him. I don't know why they didn't just sign him, but apparently I guess the trade must have been agreed upon or something after he was released, because otherwise I don't know why you would trade anything and not just sign him out of free agency. But I don't know. I guess they had the trade maybe before he was released, and they released the releasing info. A little bit confusing, but I'm trying to keep it not confusing. Released the releasing info about him being a free agent too early, and then they had the trade in place, so then they're like, oh shoot, and then they posted the trade info. So technically, I guess Gilmore was never released. So it was a little bit confusing the way it happened, but the end result is the Panthers traded their 2023 6th-round pick for Gilmore. So I think Gilmore should be another good corner to add to this defense. He is 31 years old, so he's definitely getting older and probably doesn't have that many good years left, in my opinion, because he's starting to get to that older age, and corners, once they pass 30 and like 29, they start to not play as well. Not everybody, but typically that's what starts to happen. So I don't know if he's really going to be that good for a long time, but at least he'll be a good veteran presence for this team, because there's a lot of young players on this team, and also could try to fill that role that J.C. Horn was playing, because now that Horn's going to be out for almost the whole year. So Panthers have been trying to replace him with now C.J. Henderson and Gilmore, both not giving up a ton, more for Henderson than Gilmore, but makes sense because Henderson's a lot younger, has a lot more potential, and also isn't getting paid as much as Gilmore is. So now for the prediction, I think the Panthers are going to get the win here at home, because the Eagles have just not been playing great. They had a good week 1, but other than that, I've not liked how they played. So I just think the Panthers are going to get the win here and rebound after losing their first game of the season. And I'm going to give the Panthers the win, so they improved to 4-1 on the season. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Saints taking on a football team in Washington. So in this game, I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I'm going to give the slight edge to football teams. I just think they're going to be able to get the win here at home. But I would not be surprised the Saints come out on top. They've been playing pretty good, in my opinion, so far this season for what they're expected to do. I don't think they're really going to be a great team overall, but they're doing about what I expected. So I'm going to give them the win, the football team, and the Saints are going to lose here. I do think it'll be a close game in the end, but I do give football team the win. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Titans taking on the Jaguars at 1 p.m. in Jacksonville. So I'm going to give the Titans the win here, because I know they did lose to the Jets last week, but I just don't think they have another bad game, especially against an opponent that's not even won any games this season, which I know the Jets were last week. They didn't win any games until that game, but I just don't think they lose like that again, and they rebound here and get a win and stay competitive in that AFC South with, I guess, their only really opponent right now would really be the Colts, because the Texans and Jaguars have not been that good, but at least trying to stay over the Colts. So I'm going to give the Titans the win here in Jacksonville. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Dolphins taking on the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to give the Buccaneers the win here, because I just think they're going to be able to win this game, because the Buccaneers have looked really good this season, in my opinion. They didn't look great on Sunday Night Football, but I think Brady was just really nervous going back to Foxborough and playing there the first time in a very long time, because he didn't play there all last year and just went back there for the first time this year to play the Patriots. So I think he was just a little bit nervous and just trying to not lose to them. So that's why I don't think they had the best game. But I think this week against the Dolphins, they're going to be able to easily rebound at home and take the win. So I'm going to give the Bucs the win here. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Packers taking on the Bengals in Cincinnati at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I didn't like how the Bengals played in that first half, and that second half they played great, in my opinion, in that game on Thursday Night Football against the Jaguars. But I'm still going to give the win to the Packers here, because the Packers have been playing really good this season. And ever after that one loss in week 1 to the Saints, they've just been playing really good, in my opinion. I think that continues here against the Bengals. So I give the Packers the win here, and let's get into the next Sunday game. Next, we have the Broncos taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I think this will be a close game, but I am going to give the win to the Steelers, because the Broncos have beat 3 not very good teams, the 2 New York teams, who I know the Jets did get their first win, and the Giants also did get their first win last week, but still, I don't think either of them are really that good, and Jacksonville. So not really great teams they beat. Now, when they played a really good team last week, and the Ravens, they got destroyed. So I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Steelers. They're not the best team, but they're better, in my opinion, than the 2 New York teams and Jaguars. So I'm going to give the Steelers the win here at home, and off to see if Teddy Bridgewater can play as it gets closer to game day. So regardless if he plays or not, I still give the Steelers the win here. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Bears playing the Raiders in Las Vegas at 4:05 p.m. So at the time of filming this video, David Montgomery is expected to miss 4 to 5 weeks. So he's not going to be playing in this game, according to the initial reports, except if anything changes. And without David Montgomery, I really do not like this Bears offense this year, because he's been really good, but everyone else, like Justin Fields, has been okay. Allen Robinson's been very disappointing. Darnell Mooney's been good, but I just really have not liked how this offense played overall, and I just think the Raiders are going to rebound after that loss on Monday Night Football to the Chargers. So I'm going to give the Raiders the win here at home in this game. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Browns taking on the Chargers in LA at 4:05 p.m. So in this game, I'm going to give the Chargers the win because I think they'll be able to ride that momentum from last week, beating the Raiders on Monday Night Football and beat the Browns here at home in LA. So I do think it'll be a pretty close game. I would not be surprised if the Browns come out on top, but I am going to give the edge to the Chargers at home. Let's get into the next Sunday game. Next, we have an NFC East matchup with the Giants taking on the Cowboys in Dallas at 4:25 p.m. So in this game, I'm going to give the Cowboys the win here because I think they'll be easily able to beat the Giants at home because the Giants have just not looked great this season. I know they got their first win last week against the Saints in overtime, but I just don't think the Saints are a great team this year. They're okay, but not the best. And also, that was only their first win, and I just don't think they're going to be carrying that momentum into this game here against the Cowboys in Dallas. So I'm going to give the Cowboys the win and improve to 4-1 on the year. Let's get to the next 4:25 p.m. game. Next, we have the 49ers taking on the Cardinals in Arizona. So in this game, I'm going to give the Cardinals the win because Kyler Murray and that Cardinals offense is so good and their defense is pretty good, and I just don't think they're going to lose to the 49ers because 49ers did not look very good last week against the Seahawks, and in my opinion, the Cardinals are a lot better team than the Seahawks. So I think the Cardinals will get the win here at home and secure the win and improve to 5-0 on the year. Let's get into Sunday Night Football. So on Sunday Night Football, we have the Bills taking on the Chiefs in Kansas City at 8:20 p.m. So I'm going to give the Chiefs the win here because I think they'll be able to win, but I do think it'll be pretty close because Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes were great last week against the Eagles, but the Bills have been playing great since that Week 1 loss. I do think the Bills will have a good game here against the Chiefs, especially if the Chiefs defense does not look the best, but I do think that the Chiefs will come out on top with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. So I'm going to give the Chiefs the win here on Sunday Night Football. Let's get into Monday Night Football. So on Monday Night Football, we have the Colts taking on the Ravens at 8:15 p.m. in Baltimore. So I'm going to give the Ravens the win here because I think the Ravens have been playing a lot better than the Colts this year. And also, Lamar Jackson's just so hard to stop. And I don't think the Colts are going to be able to slow him down and win this game. So I'm going to give the win to the Ravens here. And let me know who you think will win each game down below in the comments section. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.